Front of the home. Look at that. Heavy media presence out here. Look at the sign. Look at the sign. They've been on the ground. JLR investigates. No trespassing signs are getting put up right now. No trespassing. Anyone else on the property. Violators will be prosecuted. What the heck is going on here, folks? They don't want anyone to go onto the property out here covering the Nancy Guthrie. Put anyone on the property. So I don't recommend anyone going on the property.
A sign appeared on a front lawn in Tucson, Arizona this week. Not a press statement, not a legal filing, not a spokesperson appeal. A physical sign, planted in the ground, visible to anyone who drives past. It reads, "No trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted." That sign belongs to Tommaso Cioni and Annie Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law and daughter. And here's the detail that stopped this entire community cold the moment it was reported. Nancy Guthrie's home, where she was last seen, where her doorbell camera went offline at 1:47 in the morning, where blood was found on the front porch. That property sits approximately 10 miles away from where that sign just went up. 10 miles. The searches have been centered around Nancy's residence in the Catalina foothills. The media presence has been concentrated in Nancy's neighborhood. Every drone, every camera, every public search effort has pointed at one address, and it is not the address where that sign just appeared. So the question this community is asking is not whether the sign was placed. The question is why it was placed there at all. No confirmed reporting shows significant media or public activity directed at Annie and Tommaso's property. People online noticed immediately. One person wrote, "I have not seen or heard anyone even going to Annie and Tommaso's property. Why the sign? So strange." If you are new to this case and this channel, subscribe to AutoVex Crime right now. Every confirmed development in the Nancy Guthrie investigation is covered here with named sources and documented facts. Hit subscribe before we go any further. That sign did not appear in a vacuum. It appeared in the same week the FBI confirmed something that changes everything about this investigation. And that development starts with one word: DNA. The sign is the visible development. But the development that explains the sign is happening inside a laboratory. It starts with evidence recovered from Nancy's home in the very first days of this investigation. In the earliest days of this investigation, law enforcement recovered DNA from inside Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. That DNA belonged to an unknown male, someone with no documented reason to have been inside that house. Investigators ran that profile through CODIS, the FBI's national database of convicted offenders and qualifying arrestees. Nothing came back, no match, dead end. That sent investigators down the genetic genealogy pathway, the same pathway that identified the Golden State Killer after 4 decades, the same pathway that has closed some of the most complex cold cases in American forensic history. And this is where the case gets complicated in a way that most coverage has never fully explained. C.C. Moore is the chief genetic genealogist at Parabon Nanolabs. She is one of the most credentialed forensic genealogists working in the United States today. She addressed this evidence publicly, and she was precise. She said the sample is not a clean, single contributor profile. It is a complex mixture, multiple people's genetic material, collected from the same surfaces inside a home Nancy had lived in for decades, tangled together in a way that standard deconvolution software cannot cleanly separate. Moore went further. She named a company called Astra as actively developing software to solve exactly this problem on a fast-track schedule, specifically for cases like this one. She described the forensic timeline as dependent on that technology advancing, and then she said something that has stayed with this community ever since. If investigators get a viable profile, genetic genealogy will definitely solve it, and it will be solved within weeks. This week, the Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed that the FBI has now received the DNA recovered from Nancy's home and is conducting further testing using advanced technology. Not continued standard analysis, advanced technology. multiple partner laboratories coordinating simultaneously. The FBI's own facility, which former U.S. Surgeon General Richard Carmona described as the best forensic facility in the country, is now directly involved. That is not routine. That is a new phase. And it happened this week. The same week, the sign went up. That is the forensic picture. New technology. Federal coordination. A sample that the world's leading forensic genealogist says will be solved once the science catches up. Now here is what makes this week different from every week before it. The sign went up while all of that was happening. Here is what we know for certain. Here is what the confirmed public record actually shows about the activity around Annie and Tommaso's property before this sign appeared. 1. No mainstream media outlet has reported significant press presence at their home. 2. No confirmed drone footage of their property has surfaced in public investigative coverage. 3. No community search effort has been organized around their neighborhood. 4. Multiple people tracking this case closely online have stated they are unaware of any public activity directed at that address. 5. The confirmed activity, the media, the cameras, the searches, the public interest, has been concentrated 10 miles away at Nancy's residence in the Catalina foothills. That is the documented pattern of public attention in this case. So, when a no trespassing sign appears on the one property that has not been the focus of that attention, the behavior demands examination. Retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Jason Pack addressed this dynamic directly. He said that every day that passes, investigators get closer. The person responsible does not know which camera caught them, does not know who has already talked, and that uncertainty is exhausting. Pack was not speaking abstractly. He was describing what sustained investigative pressure does to the behavior of people inside a case's orbit. When investigators are building toward a significant forensic result, the people closest to the case sometimes sense that pressure before it becomes publicly visible. Not because they have access to the investigation's internal progress, but because sustained investigative attention generates a kind of pressure that people feel through the questions they are asked and the increasing specificity of what investigators want to know. There are two possible explanations for that sign. Their attorneys advise them to post it as the DNA testing advanced, or something specific happened near that property that has not been publicly reported. Both explanations are possible. Neither has been confirmed. But only one of them explains why the sign appeared at that address and not at the address 10 miles away that has drawn the entire public investigation. Tell us in the comments right now, do you believe that sign reflects legal advice? Or do you think something specific happened near that property that has not been reported? Drop your read below. We read every single one. That question leads directly back to one man. The man confirmed to be the last person who saw Nancy Guthrie alive, and this week may be the most pressure he has faced since February 1st. Every question this week leads back to one name. The man confirmed to be the last person who saw Nancy Guthrie alive. Here is his documented record, and here is why this week represents something entirely new. On the evening of January 31st, 2026, Tommaso Cioni drove Nancy Guthrie home from dinner. He dropped her at her residence. She went inside. The door closed. She was never seen again. That is the confirmed public record. That is what Tommaso Cioni himself has publicly acknowledged. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has stated publicly and on the record that no family member is a suspect in this investigation. That statement stands. No individual has been charged with any crime in connection with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Every person referenced in this video is presumed innocent unless proven otherwise in a court of law. What is also on the public record is this. Reporting from confirmed mainstream outlets indicated that Nancy was making legal and financial changes in the weeks before February 1st. The nature and significance of those changes has not been confirmed by investigators, but the reporting exists and it is documented. Now place this week inside that context. The FBI has received the DNA from Nancy's home. Advanced technology is running across multiple partner laboratories. A coordinated federal forensic effort is underway that represents the most significant development in this investigation's DNA pathway since February. And in that same week, a no trespassing sign appears on Tommaso Cioni's front lawn. Jason Pack said it plainly. Every day that passes, investigators get closer. The person responsible does not know what investigators already have. That uncertainty produces behavior. And behavior, inside an active federal investigation, tells its own story. If this level of sourced, documented analysis is what you have been looking for on this case, subscribe to AutoVex Crime right now. Hit the bell. You will not miss what comes next in this investigation. Here's what we want to know from you. Does the confirmed timeline of Tommaso's actions change how you read that sign this week? Tell us exactly what you think below. That brings us to the one person at the center of this family who has said almost nothing for 90 days. And this week, she pressed a single button. And this entire community noticed. That is the confirmed record. That is the investigative pressure. And somewhere inside all of it, a daughter who has said almost nothing for 90 days pressed a single button on her phone. And it said everything. Savannah Guthrie has not addressed the DNA developments publicly. She has not responded to the no trespassing sign. She has not spoken about her mother's disappearance since returning to the Today Show anchor desk in early April. This week, she liked a post. Her co-host, Hoda Kotb, published a birthday tribute to her own mother. It said, "Happy birthday, Mom." Savannah did not comment, did not post, did not speak. She pressed one button on a screen. The people following this case noticed within hours. They filled the comments under Hoda's post with messages directed at two mothers simultaneously. One person wrote, "Wishing your mom many more years of love, peace, and happiness." This community read those words in two directions at once, because that is what 90 days of silence does to the people who have been paying attention. Nancy Guthrie has been missing since February 1st, 2026. She is 84 years old. No arrest, no named suspect. No answer to the most fundamental question this investigation has produced. Where is she? Savannah liked that post the same week the sign went up, and the FBI confirmed advanced DNA testing. What do you think she knows that the public does not? Leave it below. If you have any information related to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit an anonymous tip at tips.fbi.gov. A reward of up to $1 million is available. Subscribe to AutoVex Crime. Nancy Guthrie has been missing for more than 90 days. We will be here when the answers finally come.